Well, this Ask Energy question comes from Pam, and Pam is wondering if she is consuming enough protein. I get this question all the time. And let me just say, I don't know exactly how much you are consuming, Pam, because it was just more of a general question. But let me say that most individuals that I interact with who are fitness minded, athletic minded, are under consuming protein pretty significantly at times. Now, let's break this down a little bit. So protein can come from a lot of different sources. There's animal-based sources, there's plant-based sources. And this is not information, this is not the question here. If animal-based is better or not better than plant-based, that's a future Ask Energy question. If you have that, please ask that and I'll answer it. But hey, here's the thing. It is actually easier than you think to consume protein. It really is, because protein is found in so many different types of food, be it animal or plant. Now, back to the question. Am I consuming enough? Or maybe I could point the question, should you consume more and how to do it, right? Okay, so knowing that most people in my mind, in my practice that I have at eNRG Performance are deficient in protein, let me explain something. The RDA in the United States for protein is 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So you have to do a little bit of math here. Play with me. So take your body weight, divide it by 2.2, and you will have how many kilograms your body weighs. Now, multiply that by 0.8, and that is a paltry number. It's so incredibly low. And there's a lot of talk about, obviously, the government improving this. Who knows if that's ever going to happen? Obviously, you have to take health into your own hands. So here's the thing. 0.8 RDA for protein is way too low. In fact, you should double that just as your starting point. So your minimum protein should be 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. Now, here's the thing though. Protein will fluctuate depending on what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to lose weight, usually I bump up protein a little bit. If you're in a heavy training cycle or you're trying to increase muscle mass through strength training, I would increase protein a little bit. So I will share with you the range that I normally give people. Of course, this is completely N of 1 because I don't know your goal, so I'm talking more general. Usually my range of protein that I recommend athletic individuals is anywhere between 1.8, maybe even 2 as the minimum, all the way up to 2.5, 2.6 grams per kilogram. So you can do a little bit of math here and figure out that range for you. So for me personally, that's right around 140, 150 grams of protein per day. And let me just go one step farther. So let's say 150 grams per day, a little bit easier to do this math. If you are eating 3 times a day and you have to consume 150 grams of protein per day, that's 50 grams of protein per meal. That's a lot of protein. Not too many people can actually do that without like a protein powder. It's actually very easy to drink that, but to eat that, that's about a 7-ounce steak, 7-ounce piece of chicken, 7-ounce piece of fish, which for some people is totally doable. That's about how much protein you get, about 48 to 50 grams in that 7-ounce size of meat. But here's the thing, not many people can actually eat that much protein in one sitting. So you kind of have to look at it backwards and you say, okay, if I know that I need this much protein per day, how do I structure my meals and or snacks so I can actually get that amount? So hopefully this gives you a little bit more knowledge. There's so much more to talk about when it comes to protein, and please ask more questions about protein because I would love to answer those, because it's kind of it's not a misunderstood nutrient, but I just feel like a lot of athletic individuals, especially endurance athletes, do not have a good idea of how much protein is actually needed, especially, let me just play the age card really quick, especially when you start aging and become older than about 35 to 40, protein becomes even more important. So that's why my range of that 1.8, 2.0 grams per kilogram is on the bare minimum, especially when I'm working with older athletes. I usually push that up a little bit more. Okay, Pam, hope that helps a little bit. Thanks for asking your question. Stay tuned for the next Ask eNRG.